Here for a limited time, only at Burger King.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the 27th day of July 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a wonderful weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable, and to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola is still a Cayman classic. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery as well. Big shout out also this morning. We take this opportunity to shout out our colleague here at Radio Cayman, Mr. Joel Wilson. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the distinct pleasure and honor of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. If you're calling from a toll-free number, then you get a free phone call. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp us 925-3261. So let's look at the birthday shout-outs this morning. And I am going to start out with one that has been featured right in our local press, Cayman Compass, and Cayman's News Centenarian reflects on a century of change, and that is North Sider Patriarch and Cayman's News Centenarian, Mr. Clinton Onslow Whitaker, who has lived through a century of change in the Cayman Islands. So happy 100th birthday to you, Mr. Clinton Onslow Whitaker of North Side. And then I'm going to move over to one taking place tomorrow. I'm going to honor our elders first. Tomorrow, Mr. Biggie Shillette. Most people know him as Biggie Shillette. He is celebrating his 91st birthday tomorrow. This one is coming from his from family member Mr. George Shillette. So sending out birthday greetings in advance to my cousin Biggie Shillette, as everyone knows him by. God has blessed him with over 80 years, asking God's blessing to continue upon him. And he's also asking us to keep Blueberry alive. Blueberry Hill. That's the place where Mr. Prendergast's unfinished house, that is where Blueberry Hill was located. Also coming from other members of the community and his family, this one says, asking you to please send out birthday greetings to Marfield Shillette, Mr. Biggie, who is celebrating his birthday tomorrow. He will be 91 years. Greetings coming from his wife, Miss Sadie Shillette, children Holly Ann and Cordella, grand and great-grandchildren also coming from the Connor family, living right next door, and his friends and neighbors. So his birthday is tomorrow, the 28th of July. He will be 91 years of age, and they've asked me to do this today since there is no further record tomorrow. Also, let's look at the other birthday shout-outs. This again, coming from Miss Aldine. Birthday shout-outs today. Kenville Bryan celebrating a birthday. Anna McPhail also celebrating a birthday. And Denise Cleary celebrating a birthday today. Tomorrow, Mr. Rodney Parchment. Hey, Rodney, happy birthday to you. Bridget Thompson and Denny Ebanks also celebrating birthdays tomorrow. Happy birthday to you too, Denny. So those are birthday greetings for tomorrow. And then let's see what we received from Miss Susan. Today, Nicole Brown celebrating birthday. Tomorrow, Bridget Thompson will be celebrating a birthday as well. So those are some additional ones that we have received as well. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out. So what I'm going to do now, folks, so if you're planning on calling in, just hold off for a little while, because I'm going to share the Cayman Compass's article on Mr. Clinton Onslow Whitaker. So it reads, said North Side Patriarch and Cayman's newest centenarian, Clinton Onslow Whitaker, has lived through a century of change in the Cayman Islands. Born on the 27th of July, 1926, he grew up at a time when his district was home to just a handful of families connected by dirt tracks before electricity, mass tourism, and large-scale development reshaped Cayman. Over the next 100 years, he worked as a fisherman, farmer, merchant seaman, construction worker, dive boat captain, ferry captain, and charter operator, building a career across many of the industries that drove the country's development. Now celebrating his 100th birthday, Whitaker says, the biggest change he has witnessed is not the modern conveniences, but the gradual loss of the close-knit community spirit that once bound Caymanians together. And I'm going to pause there for a second, and I must say that there are parts of North Side, parts of East End, even West Bay and Georgetown. All of the districts still have that sense of community. It is maybe not as widespread, not as great as it was before, but it still exists to a certain extent. And I'm sure that Mr. Whitaker is still enjoying that, with close-knit friends and family as well. Then he's quoted as saying, in my lifetime, Cayman has changed in ways I never could have imagined. But the thing that has surprised me the most is how much of our sense of family and community has faded. Whitaker was honored Saturday at the Cradock Ebanks Civic Center in North Side, where family, friends, and government officials, including Deputy Premier Garrity, Northside MP and Minister J. Ebanks, and Speaker of the House Ezra Miller gathered to celebrate the milestone. He also received a congratulatory message from King Charles III. And then there are photos there as well, a collage. In early years, under the heading Early Years, born to Jew and Marnell Whitaker, Clinton was one of 10 children who grew up in a close-knit North Side community where he recalled every family knew one another. Everyone was more or less family, and whatever you did, good or bad, the whole district knew about it by the time you got home, he said. It was a place where people looked out for each other. His childhood was divided between school and helping support the family. From Monday to Friday, the day started early so we could catch the change of tides to go fishing or set our fishing lines. Set them these days, somebody's going to go at them, I'm tell you that. But in those days, they could do that. They catch the change of tide to go fishing, set out our fishing lines, he recalled. After that, it was off to the ground to help. However we could. We came home for lunch or dinner, and the afternoons were spent with my siblings, taking turns as the cob person while the family made ropes. It was a rhythm of work, family, and tradition that shaped everybody's life. He remembers a North Side where travel was mostly by foot, donkey, horse, or bicycle. When I was young, North Side looked and felt like a different world, he recalled. From Frank Sound to Grape Tree Point, the road was a little more than a narrow trail. Old Man Bay was made up of just 7 major households: the Whitakers, the Millers, the McCoys, the Browns, the Greens, the Ranges, and the Fredericks. The families who formed the backbone of the community. Completing school was uncommon in North Side when Whitaker was growing up, but he finished his education before following a path taken by many Caymanian men of the generation. seafaring. Here's talking about providing for a family of his own. After early turtling expeditions to the Mosquito Keys aboard the Antares and the Goldfield, Whitaker signed on with national bulk carriers and spent the next 22 years as a merchant seaman sailing to ports around the world to provide for his young family back home. Leaving Cayman as a young man felt like stepping into an entirely different world, he said. Up until then, the only planes I ever saw were the ones tracing or tracking white lines across the sky. Although working at sea gave him opportunities to travel, he said the hardest part was spending long periods away from his wife, Beryl Catherine McCoy, and their young family. That distance was something you felt in your bones, he said. You carried it with you through every shift, every port, every long night at sea. Missing them was the weight of the journey and the reason you kept going. When he returned to Grand Cayman, Whitaker helped build another chapter of the island's history. He joined Don Dice Cayman Kai Development, a huge developer in North Side. They were one of the first. They joined the Cayman Kai Development team, working in excavation, contracting, and construction on what became the original Cayman Kai Resort. Once the resort was completed, he took to the water again, and as captain of its daily dive boat, before later captaining the Kai Queen, the ferry that once connected West Bay, Prospect, Rum Point, and Cayman Kai. He and his brother Robert alternated running the ferry while continuing to attend the family's plantation, which occupied land that is now home to Cayman Crystal Caves. That's right. One reminder of that era stands today. The avocado tree at the entrance of the caves was planted by Whitaker nearly 9 decades ago, 90 years ago, folks, in the plantation's early years. He and his wife would later operate a bed and breakfast, and he later established a charter fishing business. I'm going to pause there so that we can go to our commercial break. I've gone a little bit before that. When we return, there's still more to this article, what matters most, and I will share that with you, so don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Yeah, let me tell you, no AC when I was a boy. I still remember just how good an ice-cold Coca-Cola was.
The part is, the coolest moms and dads always had Coca-Cola or parties.
The sound when you pop the top, and the fizzle, and that, after that first sip.
Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, that ice-cold bubbly. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Public voting is now open for the inaugural Making Waves People Choice Award, and now it's your turn to have your say. Visit caymanconnection.org/vote to meet this year's finalists. Read their inspiring stories and vote for the Caymanian whose journey has inspired you the most. But don't wait too long. Voting closes on Sunday, August the 9th. Then join us live for the Making Waves Awards on Saturday, August 15th at 7 p.m. on the Cayman Connection Facebook page and YouTube channel. Go to caymanconnection.org/vote and cast your vote today.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm sharing a story in the Cayman Compass about Cayman's new centenarian, Mr. Clinton Whitaker. That article was written, I always want to give credit to the person who has written it, Daphne Ewing Chow of the Cayman Compass. Beautiful article. He turned 100 years of age today, and they have written his life story right here in the Compass. Those of you who have access to it, I would encourage you to please go ahead and read it. So I'm going to share the last portion of the article with you now. What matters most? Asks what he considers his greatest achievements. Whitaker said, marrying my beautiful wife, Beryl Catherine McCoy, and our children. The couple raised 4 children, Handel Whitaker, Shirley Ann Whitaker Scott, Jerry Garfield Whitaker, and Archie Burke Clinton Whitaker II. 3 of them were present to celebrate his 100th birthday. Jerry Garfield Whitaker passed away. The celebration also brought together much of Whitaker's extended family, including his sister Cynthia. The gathering came just days after the family mourned another loss, burying Whitaker's 97-year-old sister, Nell Whitaker, on the 19th of July. Of the 10 siblings in Whitaker's family, all but Cynthia have now passed away. Looking back over a century of change, Whitaker believes Cayman has gained opportunities but lost some of the values that shaped his generation. And here's a quote: I wish younger generations could experience the value of working for something with their own hands. That is what Mr. Whitaker said. Yes, that is important. In the old Cayman, when you had to push through sweat and sometimes tears, you learned to appreciate every single thing so much more, whether it was tending the ground, fishing at first light, or helping your family with whatever needed doing. The effort shaped you. His advice to young Caymanians: my advice is simple. Reach for the stars, he said. The world is so much more open now than it was when I was working in the Mosquito Keys, dreaming about what life might hold. Opportunities that once felt out of reach are right at your fingertips. Don't be afraid to aim high. Work hard and take chances. Asked about the secret of reaching 100 years of age, Whitaker smiled. And here's a quote again. The secret to a long and happy life is simple. Eat what you can catch and grow and appreciate everything, he said. That's how I was raised, and it taught me to value the land, the sea, and every blessing that came my way. Again, happy birthday to you, Mr. Clinton Whitaker. And at 100 years, you are an inspiration to all of us as well. And also, advance happy birthday greetings again to Mr. Biggie Gillette. He will be 91 years of age tomorrow. So Miss Jewel also wanted to extend birthday greetings to Mr. Clinton Whitaker, and we're also told that Mr. Rudy Miles is celebrating his birthday today as well. And like I said before, if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out. So that was the article that I wanted to share with you from the Cayman Compass this morning. If you're interested in knowing some of the articles in the Compass, here's one. Mother takes to stand in trial of ex-boyfriend accused of her child's murder. Cayman swimmers smash records in Glasgow. Lobster pot bartender claims Margarita Festival title as well. I guess some people will enjoy that. Those persons who, unless is there such a thing as a virgin margaritas, Miss Susan? I'm not sure. But if those persons who don't really have an interest in drinking, they may not want to, or they may not be attracted to that particular article. But again, I want to say kudos to the Cayman Compass for their coverage of what's happening in the Cayman Islands and the articles that they write as well. Sometimes maybe a little bit too long, but they're going into details, with it, and I certainly enjoy reading those articles. Very interesting articles as well. Not sure how many of you saw it, but Mr. Russell, who's at the Compass, it's reported that he's no longer there. He will be working in the district office or constituency office of the Deputy Premier, Honorable Gerardi as well. So he'll be missed in that capacity in terms of reporting from the Compass. We certainly enjoy his articles, as well. Compass doing an excellent job. I've criticized them in the past and certainly will continue to criticize them when I feel when there's something that I disagree with. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right, but in this day and age where, we have the freedom of expressing ourselves, as long as it isn't in any way derogatory or libelous, then certainly we all get the opportunity to exercise that as well. So folks, coming up later on, after the news, we will be talking about good governance and the institution that has been created by our Constitution to ensure that, to help with good governance in the Cayman Islands. And that conversation will take place with the chair of the the chairman of the Commissions for Standards in Public Life, Mr. Woody Foster, and Ms. Lise Hurlstone, who's the policy analyst for the Commission's Secretariat. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Caymanbrack and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. Customs may soon go paperless.
Later on this year, we have another initiative that we're working on in terms of going paperless in terms of entry. Mm-hmm. So we're moving the custom form and the immigration form as we know it to an online platform.
Customs and Border Control's Ezra Anderson says the unit is hoping to include visa applications and the new assisted traveler forms to this online system as well. CBC's Stephanie Wright.
In short, we're just trying to streamline and make our processes more seamless across, CBC.
And as CBC works to improve your experience, they're asking you remain honest on your duty forms when you travel. There's a temporary duty waiver for the summer in place, allowing residents to bring in up to $1,000 in personal goods duty-free through August 31st.
When moving through Customs and Border Control, remember your integrity. Accountability is on you. So when we have officers that would pull a person down, they're just doing their job. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. And, if you have the ability to make a truthful declaration, you should do it.
Otherwise, you face being detained, risk paying 3 times the amount of duty owed, or even end up before the court. It's hard to believe that it's already been 2 months since Caymas 2026, but organizers say plans are underway for next year's event, with Cayman Carnival continuing as a, quote, unified celebration. The Caymas team says it has, quote, heard your concerns and are working to resolve them, making sure that next year's event flows down the one road, one carnival path in a, quote, smooth manner. For 2027, the date follows the Emancipation Day holiday weekend, placing Cayman Carnival on May 1st to kick off May Culture Month celebrations. Kitty Carnival is on May 8th. The nonprofit says it has set up a new 5-member band leadership subcommittee that will work, quote, hand in hand with the Caymas board, and a dedicated Caymas Juniors presentation is expected to debut next year. For more information, head to caymas.ky. And 7 students are honored for their academic achievements in STEM. Radio Cayman's April Cummings reports.
During this year's graduation season, the Minds-inspired STEM Awards for Excellence were presented to exceptional students across the islands for outstanding achievements in science, technology, engineering, and math. This year's winners were Cayman International School's Laya Swaminathan, Cayman Prep and High School's Sean Higgins and Jake Fagan, Lance Chong, and Mikhail Fidyanef were St. Ignatius Catholic School's honorees. Amia Tahal picked up the award for Triple C School, and Ashley Ebanks Powell for the University College of the Cayman Islands. The STEM Award winners from Clifton Hunter High School, John Gray High School, and Layman E. Scott Senior High School will be announced in October to align with their graduation ceremonies. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
Minds Inspired is a DART initiative that encourages curiosity, creativity, and problem solving by providing students with hands-on STEM experiences, both in and outside the classroom, from robotics competitions and mathematics challenges to internships and workplace learning opportunities. In regional news, Suriname's President Jennifer Simons has returned from a 4-day visit to the United Kingdom, quote, optimistic of greater international involvement in the oil and gas sector in Suriname. She said the discussions with representatives of international financial institutions and companies from the oil and gas sector yielded valuable contacts that are important for Suriname's economic future. She headed the delegation that included the Minister for Finance and Planning and added that talks focused on strengthening international partnerships and in tracking investment to support Suriname's economic development. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Eileen McHugh. Firefighters in France say they are still not in control of an unprecedented wildfire that's spreading towards the southwest city of Bordeaux. The city's mayor says he's preparing for all eventualities. The Spanish Prime Minister has visited the fire-hit eastern Castillon region, where officials fear conditions are getting worse. Pedro Sanchez warned that difficult hours lay ahead. Sudan's army says it's regained full control of a crucial highway after 2 days of ferocious fighting. The 350-kilometre highway linking Khartoum to El Obeid has been controlled by rival paramilitaries since the war began 3 years ago. India's youth-led movement, whose protests forced the resignation of the education minister, have urged the authorities to release all demonstrators detained during weeks of rallies. It says it has reports of students being held in several states. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging all residents to verify the validity of their travel documents and take steps to protect them ahead of the hurricane season, which starts the 1st of June. Residents are advised to check passport expiry date, verify entry requirements for their destination, apply for or renew passports and visas early, and make copies of passports and key documents and store them in waterproof containers. For more information, call 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brigade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Synopsis indicate isolated thunderstorms expected today as a tropical wave moves west across the Cayman area. Light and variable winds and smooth seas are expected due to the slack pressure gradient. Radar imagery show moderate isolated thunderstorms to the east of Grand Cayman. Now the forecast for today, calling for cloudy skies with a 30% chance of thunder showers. Temperatures will rise near the low 90s with a heat index of 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be light and variable and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and temperatures falling to the low 80s tonight. Your winds will be northeast at 5 knots or less, becoming light and variable at times. Seas smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet for tonight. Low tide will be this afternoon at 2:26 with a high tide again tonight at 9:19. The sun will set this evening at 2 minutes past 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at a minute after 6. And the outlook is calling for light winds and smooth seas continuing through Tuesday with a slight increase on Wednesday, and another tropical wave is forecast to be in the vicinity Tuesday night into Wednesday. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brigade, where people come first.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Britgay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Radio Cayman News.
The murder and abduction trial opened today before jury of 12.
To designate the Ironwood Forest's Crown Land as a protected area.
This is a proud day for the Cayman Islands.
Police Commissioner says continuous professional development is essential.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
7 days a week.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's see what's happening on our roads as we take a quick look around the roads of Cayman. Further up on Shamrock Road, flowing at a moderate pace. Linford Pearson Highway, steady but flowing. Crew Road, moderate flow of traffic in both directions. And traffic is moving pretty good coming off of Bobby Thompson Way and off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. Turning our attention to the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is steady but flowing, heading towards the Georgetown area, heading to the West Bay area in front of the Ritz. Traffic is moving at a moderate pace. If you've seen accidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. And traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way flowing pretty good and moving on to Huldah Avenue. Owen Roberts Drive, no issues there as traffic is light to moderate. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein pack subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
If you or your loved one is facing cancer, only Sylvester will stand firmly by your side at every step, from diagnosis through survivorship, providing you and your family peace of mind and assisting with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is South Florida's only NCI-designated cancer center and specializes in treating the most complex cancer cases. Your first-class cancer care is just a flight away. Learn more at sylvester.org.
RC Fusion is proudly brought to you by TCE Paint Shop, Farmers and Artisans Retail Market. RC Fusion, weekdays 10 a.m. to 12 midday, right here on Radio Cayman 89.9.
RC Fusion.
Radio Cayman Energy.
As Minister for Health, Environment and Sustainability, I'd like to personally invite you to join me at one of our upcoming public town hall meetings. We're discussing proposed changes to legislation covering environmental health, tobacco and vaping, public health, health practice, and I want to hear from you. Whether you have questions, concerns, or ideas to share, these meetings are an opportunity for open conversation about issues that affect us all. Join us at 7 p.m. in West Bay at the John Gray Memorial Hall on Monday, 3rd August, or in Prospect at Seafarers Hall on Tuesday, 4th August. Come out, meet your neighbors, share your perspective, and be a part of shaping the future of health in our islands. Light refreshments will be available. I will also be visiting Cayman Brac and Little Cayman for town hall meetings on the 7th and 8th of August, and I look forward to meeting with our sister island communities. More details will be shared soon. I look forward to seeing you there.
the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. On the other side of the news this morning, I did mention who would be in the studio with me during this segment. Of course, we will be discussing the... sorry. Okay. So we will be talking about submissions to the Register of Interest and the Good Governance campaign, which is taking place. There's a dateline that we'll talk about, 30th of July, 2026 dateline for submissions. That conversation will take place with Mr. Woody Foster, who's the chairman of the Commission for Standards in Public Life, and Ms. Lise Hurlstone, who is the policy analyst for the Commission's Secretariat. Folks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning.
Okay, I'm going to give a little bit of background information to our listeners and viewers as well. So we'll be talking about the Good Governance Begins with Us. That's the theme of the Commission for Standards in Public Life new campaign. So today we will be talking about one aspect of good governance, which is the Register of Interest. And, of course, joining us, Mr. Woody Foster and Ms. Lise Hurlstone. So what is it that the Commission for Standards in Public Life does? What do you do?
Give it to the expert.
So the CSPL is really in place to set standards for ethical conduct in public life.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes government, members of parliament, public servants, civil servants, and really the main gist of it is that we want to create a society where people feel like they can trust the public services that they are accessing and that they've elected to be in place. And the way that we do that, one of the ways that we do that is through the Register of Interest, which is where persons in public life are required to declare their interests, assets, income, and liabilities each year to prevent conflicts of interest. So that is readily accessible to the public. They can come in and view the register and see what persons in public life's interests are. And just to make sure that there's transparency and accountability in place.
Sometimes that year goes by very, very quickly.
Does,
I almost feel, just within months, and I get another reminder as well. And several of those reminders have, gone out recently. And it'll also tell you that if you have already made your submission, then you can ignore it. We'll from a technical standpoint, will we get beyond that where if you have submitted it, then you will have a way of knowing so that you can then distinguish those who are compliant from the non-compliant?
Yeah, I mean, every year we try and upgrade our system and working with, the great people at the Computer Services Department. They're so responsive to us. But, I think one of the things we try and focus on is making the declaration process as easy as possible, so it's not too onerous on people. So if that's something that would be helpful, then we can absolutely try and factor that in. Okay,
so let's share some more information with our audience in relation to the Commission for Standards in Public Life. It isn't a concept or an idea that was just dreamed up. It is part of our supreme law of our land, which is the Constitution. Can we speak to that?
Go ahead.
So this is going back to the 2009 Constitution. When those negotiations were happening, they decided that they wanted to have a sort of oversight body in place to make sure that these standards were being monitored, being set, being upheld, being enforced. And the body that they assigned to that was the Commission for Standards in Public Life. So that was the first time it was established in the 2009 Constitution. And they took over the Register of Interest, because there was a Register of Interest law that did exist before that was managed by Parliament. And it was, I think, only applicable to members of the Legislative Assembly at the time and the media, I think, that had access to sit in Parliament. They were required to submit to that as well. And then when the Commission for Standards in Public Life came into place, then that responsibility was transferred over to them and expanded. So not only politicians and journalists, but also civil servants at the higher levels, heads of statutory authorities and government companies, members of boards of governing bodies of statutory authorities, and any other public servant that might otherwise have a conflict of interest in their work were required to submit. So it was quite an extensive, went from maybe less than 50 people to right now we're receiving over 1,000 declarations each year. So yeah, it was a pretty big...
Well, one of the main tenets of that, though, was to obviously give it independence, because it was being housed under Parliament and managed by Parliament. And we didn't think that, well, not we, back then. I wasn't a part of we back then. Was that
Freudian slip.
It wasn't seen to be independent, and that was one of the main things with this new commission, was to give it independence, that it wasn't managed by government.
With so many things going on, and especially you see in North America now, and internationally, things like predictive markets and all of those things going on. There's so much to be aware of, to have to monitor as well. How important it is for us to be as transparent as possible in terms of what our interests are if we are serving the public.
Well, that's a tricky one, and it's something that we talk about in our meetings. But when you do research on a global scale, the conflicts of interest story is really complicated, in that because you're trying to manage people's right to privacy while managing transparency, and it's a very hotly debated topic in how to manage that, and we are here as well, because currently, as Lise mentioned, you can only go to the commission and get it and look at it there in our offices. You can't get it online. And one set of people would like it to be fully digital, so anybody can look at it anytime. So we're trying to decide where in the middle of those two should we sit. And that's a good segue, if you will, into kind of our good governance campaign, is to get people's thinking on how do they think we should do it. So where does governance sit in the minds of everyday people? Because as part of our conversation today is to let everyone know that it really needs to be a part of their psyche, and right now I don't think it is. So this is a good opportunity in you asking that question. How do people feel we should go about this? Do they think it should be fully open? Do we think it should be as locked down as it is now, where yes, you can come and look at it, but you have to do it from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, only in our offices, or somewhere in the middle? It's a very good question, and one where we need to hear everybody's thoughts.
Okay, so let's give some more information about the campaign itself, and people's ability to participate.
Yeah, so the campaign, we just launched the campaign a couple of weeks ago, but I think the idea behind it is that there are various different bodies that contribute to the idea of good governance, including the commission, as well as the governor, the government, the premier, other different bodies within the civil service. The public has a role in this as well. And I think the idea behind the campaign is to bring all of these different entities together and sort of brainstorm on how can we make the best possible changes going forward to the way things are, what needs to be improved, what is working well. And yeah, so the idea is that we'll have different media engagements like this where we're asking people to give feedback on certain issues. And the way to do that for the Register of Interest right now, if you have any feedback on the Register of Interest, you can email the Commission at info@standardsandpubliclifecommission.ky and just tell us your thoughts, and we'll compile that information as we're moving forward with the campaign and factoring it into our data collection, I guess, consultation on what changes the Commission is looking to make on the legislation.
So if I could add to that,
Sure.
Ozzy, when people are thinking about it, I'll give my own, for instance, that I don't know that people make the connection between themselves and good governance until something happens.
Yes.
And then, of course, by then, if we haven't been doing our jobs, then it's hard to actually do anything at the point of, well, now there's an issue. So what do I mean by that? So back when I was on Education Council, I don't know, 10 years ago or however long ago it was, somewhere along the line of my journey on Education Council, it was told that we needed to fill out this Register of Interest. I didn't know what it was at the time, and I was like, why do I need to fill out this stupid thing, man? It's like, this is just more bureaucracy. It's just like, come on, it's ridiculous. I don't need to fill this out. Well, I was forced to fill it out, and so I did with not a mind of doing it properly, just to get it over the line. So anyway, I did it. Fast forward now to my position now as I see the inner workings of what happens, and when a complaint, the few complaints that we get, when we do get one, we don't have all the information, we don't have enough to go on. So I made the connection now from me as an individual who didn't know anything about it but was forced to do it and not understanding good governance and my part in the process, to now seeing it as I'm on the board and I need people to do it properly, and how do we actually get all the information properly. So when you're thinking about good governance and us asking you what are your thoughts, you do actually matter. Don't be me 10 years ago thinking that this is just bureaucracy, that you actually play a part in things that you've seen, you've heard, movies you've watched. Because we see corruption all the time, we just don't really make the connection of how it affects or how we're involved. So I think we need to open our minds and expand our minds to how we play a part. What do we want, so that when something happens, some corruption happens, we have the wherewithal to actually address it, hold people accountable, and know that the government will do what's right to hold people accountable, and not just say, well, let's just brush that away. Yeah. It's a big topic.
It is. And people shouldn't confuse that with register of beneficial ownership, something that is, international. This is localized in terms of, and if you are a member of a particular board, and I know when you do have board meetings, and you know what's on the agenda, members are asked whether or not they have a conflict of interest with any particular item that may be on there, and then they would be required to recuse themselves, from that. So that does take place. Mm-hmm. But if you're a member of a particular board that deals with a particular issue, do you then have to disclose your interest if it's totally unrelated to that particular function?
That's a great question, and one that comes up a lot during this time of year when we get calls or emails from people asking, querying how they're supposed to complete their declaration. Mm-hmm. So there is a provision in the Standards and Public Life Act where if you are in certain categories of person in public life, one of those categories is as a member of a board, mm-hmm. that you are not required to declare any part of your interests, assets, income, or liabilities unless it conflicts with your responsibilities on the board. So, for example, if you are a member of Education Council, but you own various properties, or you own like a gardening business, for example, that doesn't in and of itself appear to conflict with your responsibilities on making decisions about education policy. So you would not be required to declare that. And in most cases, in fact, I think board members have very little to declare because of that aspect of the legislation. And so it's even more straightforward than other declarations where you have to declare everything. For example, a civil servant or a member of parliament has to declare everything. And so, I think that is an important distinction to make. That it also makes it a lot easier for board members to complete their declarations.
Okay, we're going to give you an opportunity to catch your breath. We're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, in the studio with me, we have the chair of the Commission for Standards in Public Life, Mr. Woody Foster, and Ms. Lise Hurlstone, who's the policy analyst for the Commission's Secretariat. We're talking about a campaign. Good governance begins with us is the theme, and we took the commercial break to give you an opportunity to catch your breath. You still have about 35 minutes with us. We want to ensure that you cover everything that needs to be covered. So I'm going to throw the mic back over to you.
All right. Well, I think what we talked about was maybe trying to explain who a person in public life is, because it's not the entire civil service, because that's 5,000 people or something. So I'll hand that over to Lisa for that.
Yeah, so there in the Standards in Public Life Act, Schedule 1, there's actually a list of who a person in public life is. And so I won't go through the entire list, but I'll just say general categories. And those persons are members of Parliament, including the Speaker, senior civil servants such as chief officers, deputy chief officers, and heads of departments, senior employees at statutory authorities and government companies, so CEOs and their deputies, members of public boards and commissions, so that's members and chairpersons, and there's a sort of more gray category of heads of units within different government departments or SAGC entities also that are required to declare. And I think the people who declare every year are pretty good at knowing who they are. Yes. It's sometimes the confusion comes when there's new appointees or new civil servants coming into government. They're not sure whether they are required to declare or not. So if that is the case with anyone, they can contact us at the Commission Secretariat, and we will help them figure that out. The email for the Register of Interest specifically is roi@standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky, and then the Commission Secretariat phone number is 244-3685, and people can just reach out and ask any questions that they have.
And of course, there are a multitude of boards, and government employees who fall within the scope of the register itself. It may be difficult for the commission to get around to everyone. So what message would you have to those chairs, deputy chairs, and other members of boards or boards in terms of they wanted to know more about the standards in public life? How would they go about it?
So we always offer the service of providing presentations to boards. It's most helpful before the declaration period, so right now it might not be particularly helpful. But, in the next year, if people think about, this is something that my board members or my heads of departments are always confused about, let me reach out to the commission. We would be more than happy to arrange presentations for those entities. But one thing we've done that is a bit more efficient maybe, and doesn't require so much forethought, is board secretaries will email us and say, we have new board members that have started. Can you just give us like a brief summary of what is required of them? And so we have an email that we just forward to them that basically explains everything very briefly and concisely, and gives them resources. Like we have user guides to our online system. We have a little YouTube video that shows you how to work through the process of filing a declaration. And we can send that out to any entity that requires it, and they can circulate it as they wish.
Well, and I'll add that as a part of what we're trying to change or add to what we do is to make that mandatory as opposed to voluntary, so that we can make sure that all board members who join a board have to do some version of training. And we'll make it simple where it's a YouTube video or whatever, but some version of training so they know the Nolan principles, they know the various things in terms of their responsibilities from a good governance and conflicts of interest. So they can't say, well, I didn't realize I had to do that. And so we are trying to make those changes as well.
Okay. Let's talk about why such requirements that fall under the Commission for Standards in Public Life and the legislation, why that should not deter persons from wanting to serve or volunteering to serve on boards in particular.
Well, it's not onerous, and as Lise mentioned earlier, we're not trying to get every attachment that you have. We're not looking to get into your life. We're just trying to prevent conflicts of interest. And it's not to everyone who sits on a board. It's really just for the chair and the various decision makers, which we'll go into a little bit later in the show in terms of who falls under that and how many people there are. But so we don't want anybody to think, this is just too much information. I don't want to show my life this way, so I'm not going to bother sit on any boards. It really shouldn't change very much of what you do and why you choose to give back to the country by sitting on boards. It's really just to ensure that everybody knows that conflicts of interest exist, that we can help keep it in the forefront, so at the point of decision making, you don't fall into any problems. So really, it's an ounce of prevention, and prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Okay.
And I think something else that's worth mentioning is that just because you have a conflict of interest doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that.
Exactly, yeah.
The purpose of the register is just to declare, to be transparent about it. There's the register, it's one step in preventing conflicts of interest, but then there's also the step of when decisions are being made that might pertain to a particular interest that you have, then you recuse yourself from that decision-making process. And that's the second step. So, declaration is one thing, and then recusal is the next step. And that's on the boards to sort of manage that, because no one is sitting and observing these board meetings, but it does, as I said at the beginning, sort of the purpose of these the activities that the commission focuses on is to ensure that there is public trust in the decisions that are made, and that's one way that it happens.
Okay, can we talk about the consequences for persons who don't declare what obtains now, and whether or not there will be any move to change the legislation to make it more onerous in terms of declaring?
Well, there's legislation now on consequences for not filling out but unfortunately we're not really utilizing that. Yeah. That is one of the things that this current commission wants to really address, because I think we're right now, out of the 1,300 or so persons that we track on the Register of Interest, we have about an 80% penetration in terms of who filled it out. As far as I'm concerned, that's an abysmal number, because it's mandatory and you must do it. To only have an 80% penetration is just simply not good enough. And that needs to be in the high 90s. And so that's really one thing that we're working on now is to fix that. And so I don't remember, I think it's $100. How much is it again?
$100 per day.
$100 per day after the various reminders. And so we have an escalation clause in terms of we send out, XYZ reminders, and then we send it out to your head and they give you reminders. And by the time all of that was done, 4 months will have gone by and nothing will have happened. I'm of the belief that that's just simply not good enough. And we're going to send out the reminders. We'll send one out to your, not boss, but your
appointing officer.
Your appointing officer. And then from that point, we'll then start to find you for not filling out your register of interest, because it's really not that difficult. It's very accessible. So for not filling it out, it's just simply not acceptable. And then at that point, once it goes to the Treasury to then say, you now owe us, if you don't pay, then now you have a problem. So while that sounds harsh, we need to get the standard better. So.
And Mr. Foster, you refer to we, and we know you have the Secretariat, but you are the chair of the Standards in Public Life, the Commission. Let's talk a little bit about your other members, the membership itself.
So there's 4 other persons. We must have a lawyer with 10 years PQE. We must have an accountant with 10 years experience, and then 2 others. And all members, chair included, first it goes to the governor, and then in concert with the premier and the leader of the opposition. And then they sort of give the approval, and that's how the board is then made up.
And of course, members of the board have to declare their interests as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So setting the example right there. We're going to take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Think on an okay, man? Get out and explore the legends behind our landmarks competition. Visit any landmark on the interactive map, snap a photo or video, then share it to Instagram or Facebook and tell us what you learned. Tag at MYSCH_Cayman and use hashtag Legends Behind Our Landmarks for your chance to win weekly prizes and 2 major prizes. The more landmarks you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit Legends Behind Our Landmarks.ky and find out where we from. Brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence.
Hi, I'm Tommy from TCE Paint Shop. Growing up, my favorite programs on Radio Cayman was News Hour, The Request Hour, then followed by The House of Gold with the Kincaids. I remember listening to this with my grandmother on her cistern back in 1976. Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman, my choice for radio in the Cayman Islands.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning with Miss Lise Hurlstone, who is the policy analyst for the Commission Secretariat and the chairperson of the Commission for Standards in Public Life, Mr. Woody Foster. So we want to cover as much as possible. Just to give you a brief rundown of what we're talking about. So under the theme, Good Governance begins with us. The Commission for Standards in Public Life Good Governance campaign recognizes that good governance is a shared responsibility. It seeks to encourage a national conversation about the standards expected of persons in public life while providing opportunities for residents to learn more about the Commission's work and contribute to proposed improvements to the Standards in Public Life Act. Over to you, folks.
Talk about the declaration?
Yeah, so I think one of the main things we want to drive home is that the deadline for declarations is this Thursday, the 30th of July. And we just want to make sure that everyone knows, everyone who is required to file a declaration knows that they knows who they are and knows how to do it. So we mentioned previously who the list of persons in public life are. You can find that in the Standards in Public Life Act under Schedule 1. But I'll just reiterate quickly. members of parliament, including the speaker, head senior civil servants, including chief officers, deputy chief officers, chief financial officers, and deputy chief financial officers, heads of departments and their deputies, and heads of any other units within those government departments or ministries, heads of statutory authorities and their deputies, and members of boards as well. And the way that you file your declarations, the easiest way is to go online. We have an online portal at the CSPL website, which is www.standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky. And you can navigate to the Register of Interest page. You'll see tabs at the top of the website, and just click on the one that says Register of Interest, and then that will give you instructions on how to access the portal. It's pretty straightforward. If you've never used it before, we have resources like user guides, YouTube video, tutorial videos that can guide you, walk you through the process. And of course, we're always at the Secretariat available for phone calls and emails to help guide you through as well. To access the online system, you use your I think most people have a government e-services login, which you would have for like the customs online service or renewing your driver's license at DVDL or something. So you'd use that same login to register. And then once you register in our system, then you can go ahead and file your declaration. We do also offer hard copies of PDF forms that people can fill out. The process for that is a little more onerous. You have to have it witnessed by a notary public or a justice of the peace, or a member. You can submit it to our office in person, and a member of our staff can witness it if you bring your ID with you. But obviously, if for some reason the online site isn't working for you, you can bring it in person and do that. Yeah.
And I think do you have a new location now?
Yeah, well, I guess it's new. Maybe we've been there for about 4 years now, but we're at the Georgetown Financial Center, which is on the corner of Mary Street and Fort Street, on the 4th floor. So yeah. Okay,
one of our listeners has written in, and I'm going to read it verbatim. It says, as a person who was encouraged by the Auditor General to file a complaint with the Commissions for Standards in Public Life relating to a member of Parliament, filed the complaint, which the Commission acknowledged as a valid complaint, was told by the Commission that they wrote a letter to the then Premier but did not receive a response. I asked for a copy of the letter but was told I could not have a copy of the letter as it would jeopardize the process. Well, nothing became of my complaint. So what purpose do they serve? And yes, they are aware of my complaint.
Yes, we are aware of that complaint, and it is actually still live. So we can't speak to it here today, but I can assure the person that it is still a live conversation. Unfortunately, it is taking a long time. And these are some of the things that we are working on in terms of how we make our process and the government's processes better. And so what do I mean by that is that we have, there's lots of aspirational language when we sit down and write these laws and write these regulations. But it's not until something happens that you then find out that, well, the language doesn't actually give you the ability to do what you need to do. So then to tighten that now takes more change, and it then involves more people. And it's like pulling a piece of string, right? It goes off in a bunch of different directions. And that's kind of what's happening with this complaint. And it is live, and we are working on it. So we can, if the person wants to call in and speak to Lise, we can assure them in person that is happening.
Okay, and you want to give it a number? They probably have the number, but just do that.
Just as a reminder, the Commission Secretariat number is 244-3685. And they can just call in and ask to speak with me.
Okay. And, in other jurisdictions, bodies similar to yours, they may be given different names. Like, for instance, in Jamaica, you have the Integrity Commission, which may have a wider remit than your commission may have, but there are similarities as well, right?
There are. And we are trying to to grow ours, if you will, so that we can manage conflicts of interest within what we do, as opposed to having to wait for someone to make a complaint. Because it's, when you look back historically over the years on how many complaints we get per year, it's not that many, quite honestly. And so if you say, well, we know things happen in this country just like they happen in every other country, though I believe maybe naively that Cayman runs a really good, we'll call it operation as a country, and I don't think we have widespread corruption, but we do have it, just like everywhere else. But when you match that against how many complaints we have, there's a disconnect. So how do we manage that? And I think we need to be able to use the resources that we have more efficiently, so that we can do some of these things on our own without needing an investigation to have been launched. Because if we wait on that, then it just simply takes too long to fix some of the things that we need to fix. And if you take not the caller, but the WhatsApper's message, to fix these things takes a while. And it takes a lot of work on Lise and the team's time, and then you're dealing with other people in other entities. But through that, it then allows us to ask deeper questions and change regulations, change laws. Though it takes time, the country's getting more mature in how we handle these things. So we do need to have some patience, but we also need to push, because patience can take a while. So again, there's this relationship between pushing and waiting that we need to do.
Okay, we have about 4 minutes left. So let's remind our listeners and our viewers about the campaign, any datelines and stuff like that need to be met, and any final comments as well. We'll start with you, Ms. Lise.
So yeah, this our appearance today is part of the Good Governance campaign that the Commission recently launched. And the different activities that we have related to the campaign will be going on for the next, not quite a year, but maybe 9 months or so.
Okay.
And just seeking to get feedback from the public on things that they would like that they're happy with, things that they would like to see changed in the legislation as we compile the information to put towards making amendments to our legislation or the Standards in Public Life Act. The deadline for Register of Interest is Thursday, the 30th of July. You can go online to standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky to file your declarations, or reach out to us with any questions you have at 244-3685.
And I will remind those 20% or so that have not been filling out, we will be taking a stronger approach under this administration, if you will, to get them filled out. So if you're one of those that hasn't been filling yours out, I suggest you get it filled out. But on the Good Governance campaign, really, we're going to take a number of different approaches. So we're coming to see you. We're going to the other talk shows. We're going to trying to come up with other softer ways, if you will, of how do we get to the people to hear what they want to say. We talk to the press. How do they play a part in governance when they follow up stories, that they're not just complaining about something, but we're actually taking steps to make change. We really want to hear from as many people as possible. How can we keep the Cayman Islands the amazing place that it is to live and work? And one of those ways is good governance, right? It doesn't happen on its own. It takes a lot of people doing a lot of different things day in and day out. When you don't see them, you don't know that they're doing what they do, but they are doing. But we need your input to say, well, did you think about this? Well, I had this experience. Let us talk about those things so that we can look at unintended consequences, things that we didn't think about. There's lots of different avenues, so we need to hear back from people, and it is important. So one thing I'll reflect on real quick is when we put out a press briefing on this happening, you go down to the very bottom and you see all the little faces, the smiley faces and the angry faces. Well, one of the faces is a sleepy face, and there was a significant percentage of, this topic is boring, which of course I was like, well, that's a bit frustrating. But it's saying something. The country as a whole not thinking about good governance, what does that mean? How do we think about that? Do we need to wake them up? Do we not have a problem? What does that mean?
Yes.
So really just talking about things brings out things that you don't actually realize are an issue until you start talking about them. So communication's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. And for those, that 20%, maybe included in that are some maybe members of boards who do not meet as frequently as others, sometimes maybe only on a quarterly basis, but they need to be reminded also that you need to complete it. So if you find yourself, in that category where you sit, on a board or on a commission that meets infrequently, it's important for you to ensure that you complete make that submission as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, very quickly, even though I think we can squeeze it in very quickly, any challenges in terms of Cayman being a small jurisdiction, the pros and the cons in relation to standards in public life?
Well, I suppose I'll answer it this way from my perspective. I wanted to, how could Cayman tap into already existing infrastructure like the world? I keep forgetting what the name of these things are, but they already have indices and whatnot of conflicts of interest. I don't know if the WTI, maybe, I don't remember what it's called, but they already have these things, and Cayman is on there. But we don't really have a way of collecting that information because we're not on the world stage, because we are part of the UK as opposed to our own country.
Yeah.
So do we create our own? How do we look at that and gauge ourselves against other people in the region, in the world, of how we stand with conflicts of interest? Yeah. So it is something for us to reflect on, and we need to get other entities involved.
Yeah, I believe it's the World Trust Index or something like that.
Yes.
It just came out recently. I saw something in relation to
that's correct.
Well, folks, the voices that you were hearing other than mine, Miss Lise Hurlstone, who's the policy analyst within the Commission Secretariat, and the chairperson of the Commission for Standards in Public Life, Mr. Woody Foster. And like you heard, you will be hearing more, from them as this campaign, rolls along as well. I want to thank both of you for being here. Thank for the work that you do within the Secretariat as well. Folks, we're going to go to our headline news. When we return, the phone lines will be open, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The journey to Pan Alive has begun on Thursday. Members of the University College of the Cayman Islands Pandemic Steel Pan Band left for Toronto to join the rest of the Cayman Islands contingent ahead of the Pan Alive competition, where they will represent the Cayman Islands on the international stage. In international news, people in Bordeaux are growing, quote, anxious and fearful, according to one resident, with a major wildfire around 9 miles from the outskirts of the city. One British family said they abandoned their holiday home due to smoke. Another woman living nearby says it felt like, quote, a war zone. Planes are dropping retardant in some areas. In France, the weather is set to worsen wildfire conditions. Earlier, a giant fire thunderstorm was created in the Gironde region. More than 300,000 people have been evacuated across both countries, with many spending the night in sports halls or exhibition centers. And director Christopher Nolan wants people to watch The Odyssey on the biggest screen possible, but 2 million people reportedly viewed a social media post containing a leaked copy of his film on the weekend. Film industry outlet Variety reported that an X message embedded with a high-quality version of the film gathered 2.1 million views in 2.5 hours on Saturday before the account was suspended. Nolan shot the entire 3-hour movie on 70mm film, a large, high-resolution format designed for giant IMAX screens. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. That was a very good conversation with Ms. Hurlstone and Mr. Woody Foster as well. And just a reminder, those of you who need to complete the submission, please do so. It is extremely important. Nothing to hide. You just want to be as transparent as possible, and basically it relates to your function. If you're a board member, then in relation to that particular board, it may be wider when you're a parliamentarian, or if you're a chief officer, deputy chief officer, head of department, then more for you to complete as well. But you want to ensure that is done. Let me remind you the phone numbers in the event that you wish to call in. If not, I have lots of things that I can discuss as well that I can share with you. If you're calling from a phone number, we have a toll-free number for you to call, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. So we continue to hear little tidbits, and sometimes it is sus, sometimes it is comes out in on public forums as well, in terms of the actions of public servants, civil servants, as well. There is always that temptation. I'm going to make sure that I parse my words extremely carefully here. But those in authority, or those who are trying to reach the pinnacle or the top of a particular organization within which they now perform, within which they work. There are those who recognize that, hey, I am not going to live forever. I'm not going to necessarily even want to be in this position forever. Let me make sure that I make every genuine attempt to try to pave the way for those who are coming behind me. In particular, if they are showing the potential and the drive within the organization to move up. There are, in some organizations, those who are clamoring to get to the top. And as a result of that, they do whatever is within their power to stop anyone else from reaching that position. That is not only selfish, but to a certain extent illegal as well. And we know that that happens in some organizations. Sometimes it's not as smooth as we saw with the selection of the new deputy governor. We saw them as one big family, smooth transition, everyone focused, laser focused on what they want to do and what they can do to help the person coming into the post. Then you move outside of that environment and you get some of these statutory authorities where the Johnny-come-latelys are doing everything that they can to suppress the persons who should rightfully ascend to those higher positions once they have qualified themselves and have gotten the necessary experience. Like I said, I'm trying to parse my words as much as I could in relation to that. But Mr. Foster mentioned, a principle, something called the Nolan principles, and so there are the 7 principles of public life, and I'm going to share them with you because sometimes there are times when people ignore these principles as well. So the 7 principles of public life, known as the Nolan principles, apply to anyone who works as a public office holder. This includes all those who are elected or appointed to public office nationally and locally, and all persons appointed to work in the civil service, the local government, the police, courts, probation services, all government departments as well. So let's look at the principles. 1.1, selflessness. Holders of public office should act solely in terms of the public interest. I'm going to repeat that. Holders of public office should act solely in terms of the public interest. Not your interest, not your friend's interest, not your family's interest, but the public interest. 1.2, integrity. Holders of public office must avoid placing themselves under any obligation to people or organizations that might try inappropriately to influence them in their work. They should not act or take decisions in order to gain financial or other material benefits for themselves, their family, or their friends. They must declare and resolve any interests and relationships. Right? So we've covered selflessness. I just shared with you integrity. Now we're going to go to objectivity. Holders of public office must act and take decisions impartially, fairly, and on merit, using the best evidence and without discrimination or bias. Accountability. Holders of public office are accountable to the public for their decisions and actions and must submit themselves to the scrutiny necessary to ensure this. Openness. holders of public office should act and take decisions in an open and transparent manner. Information should not be withheld from the public unless there are clear and lawful reasons for so doing. I want to come back to that one and talk a little bit about that. Honesty. Oh, wow. Holders of public office should be truthful. You must be truthful. 1.7, leadership. Holders of public office should exhibit these principles in their own behavior and treat others with respect. They should actively promote and robustly support the principles and challenge poor behavior wherever it occurs. So, folks, those are the Nolan principles, the 7 principles. I'm going to take a commercial break, and when we return, want to go back to openness. 1.5, openness. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay Mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Hello, Cayman. I am Renicia Farron, your contestant number 3 in this year's pageant. I am 18 years old, proudly representing Boddingtown, and honored to call Newlands my home. I'm incredibly proud to be sponsored by Healthcare Community Nurse for the Seniors, a Caymanian-owned home healthcare business dedicating to providing quality care to our seniors around Cayman. My platform is Empowering Elders Driven by Youth, focusing on bridging the gap between our generations. For the past 2 years, I've worked as a certified healthcare aide, witnessing firsthand the struggles our elders endure every day. The Lions motto, "We Serve," reflects the heart of my platform, as I believe young people should actively step in, learn from our elders, and help preserve our culture and traditions. I want to ensure our elders feel valued and heard while inspiring our youth to recognize their role in safeguarding our heritage. I can't wait to see you all on August 8th.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Just to remind you, the phone lines are open if you want to call in. No particular topic to be discussed. I'm told we do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You've been had a caller. Long time.
Okay. And then when we came to you, you weren't there.
Really?
Yep. Just for a second.
Oh. No, I put the phone down because I was listening.
Oh.
And listening on the car radio, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. All what you're reading out there now, OC,
Mm-hmm.
that I don't want to say wasting time, but you should go back to what you were reading earlier with the history and the thing with Northside, the Cayman history, and
Oh, I'm going to go back
more
to that
important
too.
to me
Yeah, I'm going to go back to that too.
because all those people that are elected or run for office or are on boards, they should all know all what they got to do before they put themselves up, or when they do put themselves up.
True.
They should know what they got to do. So let's stick to what you were doing earlier. I appreciate that a lot more because that I want you, OC, and you do a good job with it. To because I know you do your research, you got your newspapers, to get as much information. Because we talked, I think it was last week, about not carry on our culture and our heritage and displaying it. So right now, your platform is one of the only ones that are actually doing that, and I would appreciate if you could go and research and do much more than that, and get it out there, so that these, like you like to call them, newcomers?
John come lately.
The John come lately. That's what you call it. Yeah, them John come latelys will know that all this didn't just drop out the sky overnight, and you have dates, you have names of events and things that people took part in to make this place the way it is. So I appreciate that a lot more than a lot of the other stuff that we be rambling about, because like I tell you, we need to start making these people know, and we need to start carrying on and get back to our heritage and stuff like that. We'll see and display it so that people will know, because if you don't know, you will forget.
So true. Yeah.
So I'm happy whenever you do things like that, because mostly at one particular time, like you say, we must be in the second. We wasn't officially independent, but we would have been the second. We were acting as if we were independent nation in 1831.
1863.
1863.
Well, it was in 1831. It was 1863 when the act came into effect. Sorry.
Yeah,
you're right.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. So we would have been actually the second island in the Caribbean that would have been independent behind Haiti, 1804. So yeah. And I need you to elaborate and stuff more on that era where we were out here by ourselves. Nobody came to our aid, but yet we survived, and we did it in a good way. And we went as far as building a catboat at first, and that was for transportation, for working, for fishing, for feeding our families, until we stepped up the game to building schooners. Good schooners too, see, that could go Tampa.
Oh yeah, yes.
Schooners that people all the way in Seattle bought. Schooners where we were commissioned to build schooner to do mine
sweeping, yeah.
For the British Army.
Navy,
That's how good we were. That's how good we were, OC.
Yep.
So we never did that with the help of outsiders. We did that in a couple of what we call boatyard right here in Georgetown. And we launched them right there, which was a big event back in the day to have a launching of one of the schooners that were built. And they're the things that we need to talk about and display and make all them that believe that they part of this, that they were never a part of this. We were out here in the Northwest Caribbean by ourselves. The island that time forgot. And whatever that was created here was created here. The finance all created right here by us to encourage them to come. So I don't want all that to be forgotten, OC. I want you to continue doing what you're doing. When it comes on that part, I don't appreciate you telling people about they got disclose this and that because I'm not into that. They should know that before. You go back to what you were doing earlier. All right?
No, but we got to keep everyone on their P's and the Q's too, you know. Got to keep them on their P's and Q's.
Well, tell also you should elaborate on them that get in and receiving gifts after they get in too. How about that?
Yeah, well, but see, I have to talk in circles on that because, you know, I have to be careful that, you know, I don't say anything that is libelous, you see. So I got to sort of like walk around like that one that I was talking about this morning in terms of keeping young Caymanians down, not giving them an opportunity to climb the ladder, and sometimes by Johnny come latelys as well. I was referencing a particular organization, something that I have learned just a few weeks ago that was taking place in that organization.
Right. All that has to be exposed, OC, and OC, can you imagine the people got the audacity to come here after we allow them? Yeah, I think I got two. We allow them, you know, OC, they can't come here without we allow them to come, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They can come as a tourist, good, and they gotta have money too, and they gotta have a hotel book, right? So they just can't come. Whatever happens, their presence on the island is controlled by us.
Yep.
And we need to start looking into that in deeper detail, like the way Mr. Jim Borden used to do it, because you cannot be complaining about, boy, you know, John come lately, came and look what he done and look how he treated me. No, see, that don't roll with me. That don't roll with me. No, that don't roll with me. See, so you expose where you can expose and teach as much history as you can teach, to get our younger ones up to speed.
Yeah, I don't know if
where they're coming from.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard when I read the article from today's Compass in relation to Mr. Clinton Whitaker, and
that's what I'm making reference.
And his
to.
remarks. So I want to get your comments on this, and I'm going to read it again. It says, "In my lifetime, Cayman has changed in ways I never could have imagined. But the thing that has surprised me the most is how much of our sense of family and community has faded." Now, he, in talking about his career, you know, he worked with Don Dice and Kaibo. Now, North Side, riding through North Side, riding through East End on a Sunday morning, I can smell the cooking. You know, people cooking in their homes. That aroma just floats out into the street. So those two districts, you can still experience that. But when you come to later on, well, it used to be later on in the afternoon, but now it starts at any point during the day on a Sunday. The amount of traffic that the community of North Side is exposed to is unbelievable. And don't we owe it to that community in some way to ensure that does not occur? Yes, we see the sleeping policemen, the speed bumps that have been established to reduce the speed of traffic. That is helping in every way. But the district of North Side is being invaded on a weekend, on a Sunday. Is that fair to them?
Oh, see, that is not fair to North Side, East End, or any other district on this island, because not only East End and North Side that had strict Sunday tradition, can't say laws, right?
Yeah.
But say tradition, right? So we need to treat our tradition just like it was a law, because a lot of people don't see that come here. Where they come from, it's a norm to do many things on a Sunday. I remember, back in the day, for you to open a bar, you had to be at least a half a mile from a church. Now you got bars hanging over in the churchyard, you know, extending over in the churchyard. Like, when did that, how did we get from then to now? You know, how do we get from north side and East End being a sleepy area on a Sunday to like you say, you can't even ride on a bicycle without people flying across you, and you have to be so careful you don't get knocked down and all that kind of thing. That was never the case. So see, why is it that we are allowing it to happen? We are allowing it to happen.
Yeah. No
no
one to blame but ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So we need to, I don't know if it's a committee or what it is that we need to put together to start preaching the old ways and how we can get back to some of the old ways, or how we can put some laws in place. I don't know.
Advisory district councils would help.
That would help. Mm-hmm. But you know how to feel about that.
Yeah. Put a toll. Put a toll right there at the junction of where Jack's gas station is and Queens Highway, Old Man Bay Road. There, put a toll booth right there and let them pay.
See, a lot of them that be running up down on the road will change their mind then. Put toll booth. Yeah, that should handle them.
Yeah,
and make it be for some sort of community.
Yes,
you know, kind of like a community fee, and they just spend it on the community with for like old people that are events or something of the sort. Yeah, like that. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, let's go for the toll.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lord Graham.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, folks. When we return today, also Miss Maud Seymour. Some of you know, some pronounce it Miss Maudie. Miss Maud Seymour would have been 118 years of age if she were still alive today. And I'm going to share with you a tribute written by one of her children. I'm going to share that with you as soon as we return from this commercial break. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Meet our stars. They've trained, practiced, and prepared. Now they're ready to shine. On Saturday, August 8th, witness the journey of our 6 remarkable contestants at the 42nd Annual Miss Dean Cayman Islands pageant. Come to the Lion Center and show your support for these inspiring young women as they vie for the title. Early bird tickets are just $40 at Ticket Plus, Winner Circle, and Funky Tanks. Don't miss the moment. A new queen is crowned. See you at the Lion Center.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We Okay, I do have a WhatsApp caller, so I'm going to delay reading, distribute to Miss Maudie. Let's take a caller. WhatsApp caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, Osi. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Remember Miss Mother quite well, where she was right across from grandmother's house. But I will leave that for you to speak about. What I called about, Osi, is I've been thinking for quite a while now, it's the Caymanian people. And, every time you turn around, this one is sick with this sickness, that sickness, and that. And also, something, I sit down and I were reminiscing back. It's the food that we eat. Right now in the United States, all kind of different kind of foods that we're getting in our supermarkets. You buy a watermelon. Watermelon has no seed. You buying papaws, no seed. We buying limes, no seed. I see some rice that we're getting now. I don't know. Maybe you can elaborate on this because I remember when Mr. McLaughlin, Stalin McLaughlin, I think he was premier at that time. And but he was in charge. Anyhow, I can remember that. They were trying to get food coming in from Honduras, Jamaica, and places like that. And those places, those people are eating the right food, what they grow, and in Honduras, I know I spoke about this many times. When you buy a watermelon, you can buy a watermelon down there for $2. And I'm talking about $2. Big watermelon, Mr. Connor. And when you cut that watermelon open, that is redder than blood and sweet as sugar. Seeds, papaws. When I go down there, I only eat most of the fruits, because they are fresh and they're grown. Jamaica the same way.
So caller, though, I like what you're saying about all of these foods, and I like them myself. But what happens when you consume those foods and you do absolutely nothing else? So it's not just the food. We have to be active as well. And unfortunately, here in Cayman, we're not as active as we need to be to remain healthy as well. So the combination of good food and inactivity, leads to bad results.
Yeah, I agree with you to active, but mostly, Mr. Connor, is the food. I mean, the stuff that you get from the U.S., we don't know how long it's in the warehouse. You look at this, and you eat right here in Cayman. If you grow a sucker tree and you get a bunch of plants off that, and when you cook that plant, compare that to what you getting in the supermarkets.
True.
Compare that we get in the supermarket. So I'm wondering why, even by joining CARICOM, why, I guess I got some ideas why we don't want to join CARICOM either.
Well, we are an associate member of CARICOM, and as a result of that, there are certain privileges that we enjoy, which, when it comes to being able to trade with our other CARICOM nations, we can do that. So, becoming a full member of CARICOM would not being a full member of CARICOM, that does not prevent us from enjoying some of those privileges.
Okay, well, what I'm saying, I guess you'll agree with me, because I know you has planted sometime of bananas in your yard, and you compare them with what we getting now from the U.S. I'm talking particularly about the U.S. A lot of stuff comes from Costa Rica to the U.S. and then shipped from Miami to here. And they're refrigerated. When we were growing up, we didn't have nothing refrigerated,
Didn't have anything to refrigerate it with.
Pardon?
I said we didn't have anything to refrigerate it with.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, you know, we were more healthier though then.
Mm-hmm.
I know they got people right here in Cayman that are very, very old. And if you talk to them, what they gonna tell you? Fresh this, fresh fish, fresh cassava, this. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the U.S. is. I see some spaghetti. All this Bill Gates food. I don't know because when. Yes, sir.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
Yeah, I mean, stuff that's supposed to have seeds that grown from the ground don't have it anymore. So I mean, that have to affect our way of life.
It certainly does.
Just wondering, you know.
It certainly does.
If government can get something in place that they import some of these foods from Honduras, Jamaica,
yep.
Nicaragua, got plenty of food too. They got good land there, you know.
Okay,
and I think that we will live much better. I'm not gonna hold you up anymore.
Yeah, thank you very much, caller, for that. Yeah,
I mean,
but again,
the food is making the people sick here in Cayman.
Yep, I want to thank that caller, but again, we have to do more than eat. We have to do more than eat. Eating bad food or eating good food can be just as deleterious to us as the bad food if we don't do something after we eat. We have to keep active now. There are persons out there who are unable to do that, but maybe we should. Okay, here's what I'm going to do because this tribute is pretty long, Miss Susan. So we're going to take the next caller. Then we're going to go to the commercial break, and I'm going to take the last 15 minutes to read this. And if we do get any callers after, then we'll take the caller. So we're going to take the caller on WhatsApp now. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning, Miss Osi.
Hey, morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm blessed, Miss Osi. This is last Monday for the month. You know, August and September will be very hot too. You know, you just gotta keep hydrated. You understand? Miss Osi, I respect Mr. Wood Foster. Great formula, right? Great decorum character. And we'll say between minutes, you know my style with it. It's a time and place for everything. And we will run for office or board, be a board, right? Especially electability. You go to the flow in more some brandy. Now, first of all, OC, you held a standard ethical performance now. And where there's complicity, misconduct in deregulatory mindset lowers the bar of standards. Right, so you have to tread carefully, impulse carefully, the scrutiny, ensure fairness, confidence, improbability, and honesty. And we also last I tell you, when you have the Home Affairs on your show, I call in because I was served in justice, right? When I was in prison, like 30 months, as we get time served, due to conflict of interest and nepotism and favoritism, I got 90 months extra, the 2 months. BS, parole board, no a lot in EFRA. And Miss OC, I cannot to my grave.
But did you lodge a complaint to anyone in relation to it, like the standards?
I sent this to the former Premier, with Rather Minds, Ms. Juliana, to the former Home Affairs MP, she have her own talk show, to the Deputy Governor. I still have my letters, I still have all of them, everything. And plus my Mr. Mother, I send my affidavits to them. And last year, to that judge, I go, I raise her up, and a lawyer, you want to tell you? You try to dig up that, try to get it up. You want to tell you? Okay. So see, have a good show. Take care of stuff, man.
Take care, Rambo. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's take that commercial break now, Miss Susan. Please stay tuned, folks. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Here's a tribute to Miss Maudie Seymour, who, if she were still alive, would be 118 years of age today. Born on the 27th of July, 1908, passed away in October of 1998. When asked if she would, in loving memory of Miss Maudie Seymour, a tribute on her 118th birthday. When asked if she would remarry, birthing 11 children is a lot of love. I have no more to give. That's a quote from Miss Maudie. I'll read that again. Birthing 11 children is a lot of love. I have no more to give. On this day, and this is coming from her children, on this day, we honor and celebrate the extraordinary life of our mother, Miss Maudie Seymour, a woman who made an indelible mark on her children, her neighbors, and the entire Caymanian community. Born on July 27, 1908, to her mother, Jerusha Bush of West Bay, and her father, Philip Watson of East End, Miss Maudie lived a rich, full life, passing away at age 90. I think I got that number wrong. Passing away at age 90, 3 months and 11 days, 30 years after her beloved husband. A heritage rooted in Caymanian history, Miss Maudie was raised by national hero, Honorable Leela Ross Shire Nee MacTaggart, composer of our national song, Beloved Isle Cayman, in 1932. Miss Maudie traveled with Miss Leela to British Honduras the very same year Miss Leela penned that cherished anthem. Passing down that appreciation for culture and learning, Miss Maudie made sure her children became early members of the public library where Miss Leela worked. Many fond afternoons were spent just before the 6 p.m. closing time, listening to old stories and watching Miss Leela play various instruments, Miss Maudie's favorite always being the mandolin. Generosity, kindness, and community spirit, Miss Maudie's upbringing instilled in her impeccable manners and a deep reverence for others, particularly the elderly. She taught her children core. We must always be kind to other people. They worked hard to keep this worked hard to keep this country alive. She was a caring soul who brought warmth wherever she went. Monthly walks with her were a true adventure. Walking from West Bay with a child tagging along for nearly 10 years meant carrying pigs to feed, catching a ride on the back of an old truck to East End, or walking all the way to South Sound to visit Nurse Bush, or down north to visit her dear friend, Miss Jen Teddy. She was everyone's friend, always sharing provisions. When her husband returned from seafaring, he and a friend would purchase a barrel of salt beef or merchandise. Miss Maudie would carefully sort it into brown paper packages, sending her children riding north, east, west, and south to deliver them as gifts. There was no money exchange, just pure bartering and neighborly love. People adored her, often spending their weekends visiting her home, sharing gifts and laughing together. The magical mistress of the house, Miss Maudie, was known for her spotless home. Her cleanliness was legendary. Even her pig pens were kept immaculate. But what family and neighbors remember most was her almost supernatural command over the household and its animals. Her mother, or grandmother, sitting on the porch smoking her pipe, used to say, "There is something magical about Maudie." Every afternoon, around 4 p.m., without a word being spoken, the entire yard seemed to sense her return. Prince, the dog, could sense her a mile away. If he had been roaming, he'd run back, hop on the trampway, and pretend to be fast asleep before she arrived. The cat, who was watching the south from the gate, would jump down the second he spotted her coming, slipping into the kitchen to sit quietly as if he'd been there all day. The chickens would file into the coop, arranging themselves in perfect order along the incline, the oldest at the top, the youngest at the bottom, sitting in complete silence. The pig would immediately stop running in the yard and scramble back into his pen, acting completely innocent. Grandmother would call out, "Lulu, go quickly and clean your feet. Your mum is coming soon." Moments later, the mistress of the house would arrive, looking over her domain with a knowing eye, aware that someone had warned the crew. Her children and legacy. Miss Maudie was blessed with 11 children, raising them with fierce devotion, strict standards, and endless love. Her family spread across the globe while keeping their deep roots in Cayman. Dola, Canada; Edis, USA; Ella, Canada; Coolidge, Cayman; Lucille, Cayman; Christine, Cayman. She was a straight shooter who loathed gossip, possessed a sharp wit, and carried a mysterious, cheeky smile that could light up any room. Following the passing of her husband, despite being a handsome woman with many admirers, she never had any interest in romance again. With a twinkle in her eye, she'd remind everyone that her 11 children were all the love she needed. She was a gifted gardener, an incredible cook, and a tireless worker. She held various roles at the hospital over the years, including testing the seamen's urine so they could head off to sea to support their families. She loved politics, took her children to every community meeting, and ensured that every Sunday a chicken and fresh flowers were delivered to the minister. Above all, she valued book learning and character. She pushed her children to study hard, read constantly, and excel in school. When asked to teach cooking, she'd reply, "One day you will learn. Right now, read your book." She taught her daughters to sew and crochet, ensuring they grew up skilled, honest, and proud. She insisted her family always speak well of others, avoid bad company, and love themselves. Miss Maudie Seymour was a giant of a woman, a devoted mother, a loyal friend, and a cornerstone of her community. Though she left us at age 90, her strength, laughter, and lessons live on through her children and the generations she raised. Happy birthday in heaven, Miss Maudie. Thank you for having us. Lucille, on behalf of Christine, Coolidge, Edis, Dola, Ella. That's coming from the family. So well put and so true, so true. And let me tell you, mention was made about the fact that, she worked in the lab where the urine was tested before men went off to sea. And, there were times when without her assistance, some of them would not have been able to go to sea at that time as well. Also, on one of my shows a few weeks ago, someone mentioned the fact that maybe a wing or one of the rooms, maybe the lab, should be named after Miss Maudie as well. Folks, sometimes we have a tendency to forget our own and their accomplishments, and it gets lost in our history. Remember now, if you separate the word history, his story. So if we don't make it our story and someone else comes along and makes it their story, then we have no history. We have no history. Just play with words. Let me read this, what someone has written. I haven't read it in advance, so it says, I'm thinking it's not what we're accustomed to that we visit these districts to visit extended family, friends, related church organizations. Now it seems it's the speeding and drinking and bitter scent of herbs in the air. That's the focus invading North Side. Yet, the 7 Mile Beach can't accommodate any more persons on weekends with the same focus. I wonder if the plan laid out by the committee's Governor Owen left in place reflect on how we should have handled the change in excess traffic on Sunday. Encouraged increase in population has not determined the family and respect of Sunday traditions that formed and made our islands admirable and restful to begin a new week. Is it too late to put in a toll booth? No, not too late to put in a toll booth. And maybe encouraging people to travel more by boat than by car, or this may be a good business opportunity, for someone to resurrect the ferry across to Rum Point. Maybe somewhere starting on the North Sound. What do they call that now? North Sound, the Bacadere, where the North Sound Road ends there. Start a ferry from there on a Sunday over to Cayman Kai. Reduce the traffic. So you have a boat captain, you have a boat crew. All you have to do is stay within the rails, not go overboard, and you can have a safe trip from Georgetown or maybe even West Bay to Cayman Kai. I don't live in Northside. We know that people in Northside complain, about the traffic through there during the course of on a Sunday as well. And whatever we can do, whatever can be done to make life more pleasant, make it the way it was in Northside, we should seek to do that as well. So, folks, we've reached about that time. If you can put up with me, I will be back here at 12:15 on Talk Today. I'm not sure what guests we have. I will check that and see, but I welcome you to join me at 12:15 on Talk Today. Meanwhile, don't forget that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and we should extend a helping hand to them. If we can't do that, then we should support a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want, or even those who crave. So, again, I urge you to continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join me at 12:15 for Talk Today, and as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yard.